Okay guys, so here's what we're going to do next. We're going to read a story called Prudy's Problem and How She Solved It. And what we're going to do is I'm going to read it to you guys, and then as I'm reading I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and you'll just answer it for me. Okay? Pretty easy. So here's what I want you to think about as we're reading our story today. When is it time to solve a problem? And this is the kind of problem that you might have with yourself. Maybe you have something you're not very good at. So what if Mr. Brown right here had a problem? What if Mr. Brown took too long to grade papers? Maybe you guys would start coming up to me and you might say, Mr. Brown, it's been weeks since we've gotten that paper. Where is it? We're still waiting for it. And I'd say, oh, no, it hasn't been very long. Go sit down. There's no problem at all. But then another person comes up and keeps telling me. And then pretty soon all of you guys have said, Mr. Brown, it's taken forever. Then I might start to realize that I had a problem, right? What about you guys? Maybe you guys are in your room and you're playing some music, and it sounds pretty good to you, right? You're having fun, you're listening to it, you're dancing a little bit, right? And then your dad knocks on the door and he says, hey, turn that music down, it's way too loud. And you say, no, it's not, Dad, it's great in here, because it sounds good to you. And then you say, oh, there's no problem. But then your mom knocks on the door a few minutes later and she says, turn that music down, it's way too loud. And you say, but Mom, it's so much fun and it's not too loud, there's no problem. And then your brother comes up and he says, turn down the music, I can't do my homework. Then you might start to think, okay, maybe it is a little too loud. Maybe I should turn the volume down a little bit for everyone else, right? That's when you might know that you have a problem. So we're going to think about that as we're reading the story. We're going to have a girl and her name is Prudy. And we're going to see if we think she has a problem. Maybe she doesn't, but it sounds like she might based on the title, right? Because it's Prudy's Problem and How She Solved It. So we're going to think about how long it takes until we need to find the solution to the problem. What does a solution mean, guys? Right, a solution means how we fix the problem. So if Mr. Brown's problem is that he takes too long to grade things, I might say, all right, to fix this problem, I'm going to grade things as soon as I get them, and I'm going to give them back to you in the next 2 days. And then I have my problem fixed, right, because I get it done quick. Or if your music was too loud, then you would turn it down, right? Do any of you have any problems that you think maybe you could do better with, and any solutions for them? Does anyone want to share an example? Yeah, good, guys. Thanks for sharing. That was a really good problem. Okay, and we're also going to think about the genre of this story. And the genre of this story is fantasy. Who wants to tell me what genre means? Does anyone want to tell me what that means? Yeah, the genre is kind of like the type of story, the category it is. So this one's fantasy. So what might be in a fantasy story if that's the genre? Can anyone think of anything? Yeah, maybe there's some magic or dragons or kind of make-believe things, right? Can anyone think of any other types of genres that are out there? Can anyone else tell me a type of genre? Good, I think that's a really good example. We have things like a mystery or action or nonfiction. Nonfiction, like it's just about facts. Maybe you learn just about trees or whales. That would be our genre, right? Okay, so now we're going to start our story. Let's just look at the cover to start with. What do we notice on the cover of it? It says, Prudy's Problem and How She Solved It. What do we see on the cover? Who wants to tell me? Yeah, we see this girl or this person. We can probably think it's Prudy because that's the name and the title, right? And look at all the fun things. She's got a lot of stuff in the background, right? I don't know if it really makes sense. It looks like there's some animals, like a butterfly and spaceships and some crazy stuff back there. So maybe that's part of the fantasy, right? All these different things and they're coming together. Maybe there's some sort of magic going on. So we'll try to keep that in mind. But I don't think we can tell very much from just the cover alone, can we? Alright, so let's start. I'm going to start on the first page, okay? Prudy seemed like a normal little girl. She had a sister. She had a dog. She had 2 white mice. She had a mom and a dad in her own room at home. Yes, Prudy seemed normal, but Prudy collected things. Now, most kids collect something. Prudy's friend Egbert collected butterflies. So did Prudy. Who wants to tell me what butterflies are real quick? Yeah. Yeah, right. They're an insect and they fly around and they have pretty colors on their wings. Yeah, and so maybe her friend collects them. Maybe if they've died, he keeps them, or maybe he likes to catch them in a butterfly net and then let them go back, right? Belinda had a stamp collection. So did Prudy. Let's just think about this. Maybe I should backtrack for a second, right? What does it mean to have a collection? Can anyone tell me what it means to have a collection? Yeah, it's when you keep a group of similar things together. So maybe you collect movies or music or stamps, right? Can anyone tell me if they have a collection at home? Maybe there's something you like to keep? Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing. That's a good one. So Belinda had stamp collections and so did Prudy. Harold collected tin foil and made it into a big ball. So did Prudy. All her friends had collections and so did Prudy. But Prudy collected everything. Oh my gosh. So it sounds like she collects a lot of things, right? So maybe that could be what her story is. Let's look on the next page. Oh my gosh, we're going to look at that picture. She saved rocks, feathers, leaves, twigs, dead bugs, and old flowers. She kept a box full of interesting fungi at the bottom drawer of her dresser. She saved every picture she had ever drawn and every Valentine she had ever gotten. She saved pretty paper napkins from parties and kept them in her desk drawer. She had 614 stuffed animals in different unnatural colors. Oh my gosh, she collects a lot of things. Who can tell me some of the things she collected? Yeah, she collected dead bugs and Valentines and stuffed animals. Oh my gosh, and look at her room. Let's look at the picture, guys. Look at all that stuff in her room. That's a lot, isn't it? Do any of you guys have a room that looks like that? Oh yeah, maybe it's a little bit messy, but do you guys collect all those things? Does anyone here have 614 stuffed animals? That's pretty crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. That's a lot, right? So that doesn't sound too normal, does it? So what do we think? What do we think is going to happen with all these things she collects? Yeah, this doesn't sound quite right. It sounds like maybe that could be her problem, right? Because based on the title, we know she's got a problem of some sort. She had collections of ribbons, shoelaces, souvenir postcards, flowered fabric scraps, pencils with fancy ends, pink scarves, and orange polka dots, old calendars, salt and pepper shakers with faces straight out, erasers, plastic lizards, pointy sunglasses, china, animals, heart-shaped candy boxes with the paper candy cups still inside, tufts of hair from different breeds of dogs. She just could not throw anything away. Oh my gosh, so she had even more things. We read to the next page and she had even more stuff. Look at her room again. That's crazy. And she's even upside down and all over the place and all the things she has. What do you think of her room? How does it look to you guys? Tell me what you guys think her room looks like. Yeah, good. I want you to think of some words maybe we could say. Who can think of a word to describe her room? Yeah, we could say messy or dirty or unclean. Those are very good words. Good job, guys. So we know she's got a lot of mess in her room, right? So let's see what happens next. It drove her dad to distraction. He was a very tidy person who did not like clutter. What is a tidy person? If you're tidy, what does that mean? Yeah, it means you like clean things. And what does it mean? What is clutter? Yeah, clutter is when you have a whole bunch of stuff and it takes up room and it's all over the place. So I would say that, do you think that Prudy is a tidy person? No, she's not very tidy, but her dad is. He started saying unpleasant things as he tried to mow the lawn. "Prudy, you have a problem," he said. "What do you mean?" she asked, baffled. What does baffled mean? Yes, baffled means that you're kind of like, like you don't know what they're talking about. You don't know what they're talking about. Maybe you're like, huh? What the heck is this guy talking about? He's saying I have a problem? What does he mean? You just have too much stuff. Why don't we haul it all to the dump? He suggested hopefully. I don't have too much stuff, Dad, Prudy said. So what does the dad think the problem is here? Yeah, he thinks that she has too much stuff. But what does Prudy think, guys? She doesn't think she has a problem. She says, "No way, Dad, I don't have too much stuff." Alright, let's see what happens next. Next page. It even got to be too much for her mom, who did not mind clutter, but could no longer navigate the living room. What does it mean to navigate? Yeah, if you navigate, it means you're trying to find your way around. So if it's hard to navigate the room, she's probably like stepping over things, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to fall over," right? Because there's so much clutter, things on the ground, right? Let's look at the picture. Look at the mom. She's tripping over herself. She can't get anywhere. "Maybe you could take all this to the thrift shop," she said. "Surely someone could use this old mushroom." "I like that mushroom," Prudy said. "Prudy, you have to face your problem," said her mother. "I do not have a problem," said Prudy. Okay, so what did her mom think? Who can tell me what the mom thought? Yeah, the mom thought she had a problem, right? Who else thought that she had a problem? Right, her dad. So now her mom and her dad think she has a problem. But what does Prudy still say? Right, Prudy still says, "I don't have a problem. What are these people talking about?" And look at her room. What is happening in the picture right here? Who can tell me what's going on in the picture? Good. The mom, she's trying to step all over the place, and there's the mushroom she talked about, right? And look at all the stuff everywhere. Yeah, you're right. There is a lot of stuff in there. All right, let's read the next page. Prudy's little sister started putting together collections of her own. "Uh-oh," said Egbert, eyeing Evie's little pile of pine twigs and used toothbrushes. "Prudy, how about if you packed everything all up and stuffed it in a rocket and sent it to Neptune?" "Yeah, that would solve your problem," agreed Harold and Belinda. "There is no problem," shouted Prudy. But Prudy herself found that she could barely get to her desk to feed her mice. So, what happened on this page, guys? So I want someone to tell me what her friends think of her. Do her friends think that she has a problem? Yeah, her friends said that they need to put all her stuff in a rocket and send it into Neptune, right? That's kind of like a fantasy, right? Because we know that's make-believe. That's probably part of our genre. They think she has a problem. Now, there's two parts to this next thing. What's the first thing that Prudy says when they tell her that she has a problem that needs to be solved? Right, she said, "I don't have a problem," right? But I'm going to read the last sentence again, and I want you guys to tell me what you think this means. So, Prudy says, "There is no problem," shouted Prudy. And here we go, the last sentence. But Prudy herself found that she could barely get to her desk to feed her mice. So she's got so much stuff she can barely get up there to feed her mice. Can anyone tell me what maybe Prudy's starting to think? Maybe she's starting to realize something. Yeah, maybe she's starting to realize that, uh-oh, maybe I do have too much stuff because it's hard to go and feed my mice. And that's not okay, right? I need to be able to feed them. So that's a good prediction. We're going to stop there today, guys. But I like that prediction that you made. She's starting to realize maybe I do have a problem. So maybe that's when she realizes she needs to find her solution, right? Kind of like after all you guys came up to me and said, "Mr. Brown, when are we getting our stuff back?" And after the 10th person comes and tells me, I might start to realize, oh, I do have a big stack of papers on my desk that I have to grade. Maybe I do need to fix this, right? So we're going to stop there today, guys. You did an awesome job. You gave me so many good examples. You followed along really well, and I'm really happy with that, okay? Thank you so much, guys, and we'll pick up on it again tomorrow.